President Trump has proposed a huge increase in defense spending, a budget of $716 billion for 2019. Now, while Congress debates the details, military chaplains wonder if they'll ever be allowed to pray again in the name of Jesus. In recent years, we here at CBN News have told you about numerous ordained ministers who were prohibited from openly sharing their faith as chaplains in the U.S. military. The chaplains argued they should not be required to check their faith at the door. Here with more on the important role of chaplains and faith have played in the U.S. military is historian Ronit Stahl. Dr. Stahl is author of the book Enlisting Faith, How the Military Chaplaincy Shaped Religion and State in Modern America. So tell us, what role has faith played in shaping the U.S. military over the years? How important has it been?
It's had a really important role in shaping how the military understands religion. So, for example, when we go back 100 years to World War I, when the U.S. entered World War I, which was of course, in April of 1917, the chaplaincy was quite small and had to enlarge suddenly in order to help the military handle the millions of young men who would serve. One of the first challenges was for it to figure out how would it work with soldiers of many different faiths. Soldiers who, particularly in 1917, came from many different countries, many of whom were immigrants, and had a lot of different ideas about religion. So one of the first roles in the 20th century that the chaplaincy plays is helping the military really think through what are the different religious commitments of Americans who serve, and then how could they help them do so. And so one of the most important roles it's played is really helping the military, and through the military, America writ large, think about the range of religions that exist in America.
How important are chaplains, especially during times of war?
Well, chaplains become the main conduit to religious practice, especially on the battlefield. So one of the things chaplains have to do is to figure out how do they serve everyone in their unit. That's always been the charge of the chaplain. So one of the things chaplains do is, of course, lead worship, they bury the dead, they offer counseling, but the question is how to do that in a way that acknowledges everyone's religious freedom, that facilitates everyone's access to religion.
That must be very difficult. I mean, I can imagine say an Assembly of God pastor counseling and burying the dead for, say, a military person who basically is a Muslim. I mean, what do they really know about Islam, and how would that person respond?
Right, so that's one of the main, right, that is one of the both challenges, and for many of the chaplains I've spoken to, one of the most meaningful parts of being a chaplain. It is this expansive ability to minister and to pastor. But so part of what it requires is really learning about other faith traditions. Now, of course, when possible, the idea is to have either a chaplain or a clergy person of the person's religion do the burial. So in the case of a Muslim soldier, a Muslim chaplain or a local imam. But in times of battle, that's not always possible.
The chaplains have an impact on shaping and advancing morality in the military. What difference has that made?
It's obviously varied by soldier and by time period, but for many, the chaplain has been the person they could go to sort of regardless of circumstances, right? It's the person who chaplains have rank but no authority in the sense of harming someone's record or punishing them. It's also true that today chaplains are the one place personnel can go where it's confidential. So if they want counseling, they want to talk through an issue. And I've talked to a number of chaplains who tell me that for many personnel, it's not necessarily the sort of pastoral part of pastoral counseling, but just the ability to be a listener who will, help someone process, especially, in combat. People are seeing a lot. They want to work through it. And that the ability to help them process it, but again, keeping it confidential is really important to them.
Well, Dr. Ronit Stahl, thanks for your historical perspective today, and Go Blue.
Thanks, Go Blue.